Have you ever heard of a son taking power immediately after his father's death on the battlefield? It sounds like something out of a medieval epic, but it's exactly what happened in the modern-day nation of Chad. This is the story of Mahamat Idriss Déby Itno, the man who suddenly found himself at the helm of a nation in crisis. Born in 1984, Mahamat is the son of Idriss Déby, who ruled Chad with an iron fist for 3 decades. Unlike many children of world leaders who might pursue business or politics, Mahamat was destined for a military career from the very beginning. He was sent to military schools in Chad before receiving further training at the prestigious Lycée Militaire in Aix-en-Provence, France. This wasn't just for show. He was being groomed for leadership within the Chadian army, a critical institution in a country constantly battling rebellions and regional instability. His military career quickly accelerated. He saw his first combat experience in 2006 when rebels attacked the capital, N'Djamena. He was young, but he proved his mettle. His father recognized his capabilities and quickly promoted him through the ranks. He became a key figure in the Chadian army's operations, particularly in the fight against insurgents in the northern and eastern parts of the country. A significant moment came in 2009 when he led Chadian forces to victory against rebels in the Battle of Amdam, a success that solidified his reputation as a competent commander. By the time he was in his late 20s, Mahamat was already a general. He was given command of the DGSSIE, an elite presidential guard unit responsible for the security of his father. This was a position of immense trust and power, placing him at the very heart of Chad's security apparatus. He was his father's right-hand man, overseeing critical military operations and essentially acting as the second in command of the entire armed forces. Then, in April 2021, the unthinkable happened. President Idriss Déby, who had just been declared the winner of a 6th presidential term, traveled to the front lines to visit troops battling rebels from the Front for Change and Concord in Chad, or FACT. Details are still murky, but the official account is that he was fatally wounded in the fighting. His death created an immediate power vacuum and plunged the nation into uncertainty. Within hours, the military announced that the constitution was suspended. They dissolved the government and parliament and declared the formation of a transitional military council to govern the country for an 18-month period, after which elections would be held. And who was at the head of this council? None other than 37-year-old General Mahamat Idriss Déby. He went from being a military commander to the de facto president of Chad overnight. This move was controversial, to say the least. Opponents called it a dynastic coup, arguing that according to the constitution, the Speaker of the National Assembly should have become the interim president. Protests erupted in the capital, but they were met with a firm response from the security forces. Mahamat Déby defended the military takeover as a necessary step to ensure stability and prevent the country from descending into chaos. As the transitional leader, Mahamat has faced enormous challenges. He's had to navigate the delicate task of trying to reconcile with various armed rebel groups while also managing political opposition at home. He initiated a national dialogue aimed at bringing together different factions to chart a path forward for the country. However, this process has been criticized by many for not being inclusive enough. Initially, he promised not to run in the future elections that would mark the end of the transition. But as the 18-month period drew to a close, the transitional period was extended, and the rules were changed to allow him to contest the presidency. This led to further protests and international concern. In May 2024, Chad held its presidential election, and as many predicted, Mahamat Déby won, officially cementing his transition from military leader to elected president. His story is a complex tapestry of military duty, political inheritance, and power. He is a young leader who took control of a strategically important, yet deeply troubled African nation under the most dramatic of circumstances. The future of Chad now rests squarely on his shoulders, and the world is watching to see which path he will choose. Thanks for watching. If you found this story interesting, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the figures shaping our world. See you next time.